Hi everyone. Today I'm showing off a 3D world that I've created inside the Windows console. I used a C# console application, very standard, Visual Studio 2016. This is what I did over the weekend. It took me about 10 hours. And there are two things going on here. You see this grid in front of you, which is actually made up of periods. And we have a camera which we can move around using keys on the keyboard, like so. And we can actually move around and explore this environment. Very primitive environment, but pretty cool nonetheless. So as far as the camera goes, I built in 5 degrees of freedom, so we can move forwards, backwards, side to side, up and down. And then we can rotate the camera as well. We can change the pitch, so like nodding your head up and down. And then we can adjust the yaw as well, which is like shaking your head from side to side. The only thing that we don't have going on here is the camera roll, which would be tilting from side to side, like turning upside down. I might implement that in the future. I didn't feel like getting into that this weekend, but that could be coming soon. If you'll notice, as I'm moving around, you can actually see the cursor hopping around the screen, redrawing the frame. In my first iteration, it was actually a lot choppier than this. I would redraw the entire screen every time I moved, and so the whole screen would turn black, and then it would redraw from top to bottom. So it was like a strobe light effect, and looked pretty sloppy. And I realized I could make it better by just redrawing each part of the screen that would change, instead of redrawing the entire screen. I'm so tempted to call these pixels. Huge, clumpy, period pixels. Yeah, you're not really going to get a much better resolution or frame rate than this in the console. I guess if you dive into it, you can try and adjust those settings. But for me, this is just an experiment, a silly project, mostly to see if I can get the mathematics working. In the back end, it's just trigonometry. Just some things. If you want to implement this yourself, you'll need to just create a camera class, give it a position, field of view. So I've defined a horizontal angle, I've defined a vertical angle that I can see, and then just by calculating the vectors from each point on the screen that intersect with where this grid is, I was able to draw it, and it really comes out with a nice perspective effect. It's all automatic, which is really nice. So I just wanted to show off that. Thanks for listening. Stay tuned.